super pay. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be a magic clue inside these gentle walls. That's all I see. It's a tower of dreams. Real love bursts out of every scene.
Real love bursting out of every scene. As days go by,
we're gonna fill our house
with happiness.
We'll smother the blues with tenderness.
Tenderness, yeah.
There's room for you.
Room for you. Room for me. Me too? Oh, cool. As days go by, we go love with a family. Alright. Here we go. Once again, episode 2. We're back in action. That was the theme song to Family Matters. Fair use. It's an excellent theme song. Hold on. I'm checking things out in the house here. See, I'm babysitting right now, so gotta make sure things are on the up and up. I gotta be a responsible parent while being an entertainer. Double duty. That's what they call multitasking. Right. So, yeah, I've been watching Family Matters again. It's on, the whole series is on Hulu. So, if you want, like, a sitcom about a wholesome black family that doesn't remind you of a serial rapist, that would be the show to watch, because, you know, unlike Bill Cosby, who once had his own, or a couple of his own wholesome family TV sitcoms, yet there's no one on Family Matters that's been accused of the same things that he has, Mr. Cosby. So no, it's good. I'm on the second season right now. I watched the whole series just about when I was a kid, but I don't really remember any of the episodes. But now that I'm watching again, I'm all like, oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah. So it's like, it's triggering old memories of me watching something when I was like 6 years old. Oh boy. I'm not in a good mood today, guys. I'll have to admit it. I woke up in a bad mood, and I'm still kind of in a bad mood. And I don't know what it is. It's what pressures of life, like what pressures really? I mean, things are pretty relatively easy right now. They're good. They're all right. But sometimes I overreact, and I'm kind of a dick. And sometimes you do have to apologize for your own behavior. No one's perfect. But part of my thing was that I was kind of afraid that I wasn't going to record this episode today. I was worried I was gonna just put it off, and in a way I kind of did, because I wanted to record it a little earlier today, but I was just so I just wanted to get away from this deep, feeling that I don't know what's up. I don't know why I feel this way. And but sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Which that doesn't make any sense, because, the side I woke up on was the same side I fell asleep on, so that idiom doesn't hold water for me anymore. Oh boy. Excuse me. Pardon me, guys. So, have you heard the news about Louis C.K.? I don't know if anyone listening is a fan, but I'm a fan. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. And he likes masturbating in front of women. Yeah. And, like with the Harvey Weinstein scandal, this story was also broke by the New York Times, and the New York Times is the paper of record. So, if the New York Times says it, it must be true, no matter what Donald Trump says. And, Donald Trump was really throwing CNN and New York Times under the bus, because I don't know if you've read the New York Times over the last year and a half, but they were kind of leaning left. They're kind of leaning a little left. All their polls, and Reuters too, and it wasn't entirely objective. It wasn't. The journalism wasn't entirely objective, so it was like, I don't want anything leaning too far left or too far right. It gets into certain extremes, and I think with all these stories of, these scandals in Hollywood, it kind of proves that the New York Times isn't leaning entirely left. They know who to throw under the bus so they can regain their credibility. And one of the people that they threw under the bus was Harvey Weinstein, and his career is over. And then BuzzFeed broke the Kevin Spacey story, so you're going to have to give credit to BuzzFeed. They gained some credibility there, too. Unfortunately, I hate BuzzFeed, though. Hate it. It's like bubble gum for your eyes, and it just gets, I just can't read those headlines and those lists. I don't know. Like, I have mixed emotions about BuzzFeed, but I really like the New York Times. I like reading it. The writing is really on point. They got a grammar guide, and I've read that, the style guide, and it's very helpful as a writer. And if you are a writer, I do recommend reading the New York Times just for the way the stories are written. I mean, whether or not they're true is just something else, That's that it requires another part of the brain where you have to create your own opinions and shit. And yesterday, the New York Times broke a story about our good friend Louis C.K. 5 women came forward, they spoke out, and he masturbated in front of girls. I was like, that's his kick. That's how he got his jollies. And I mean, we can't. I guess you can't kink shame. I mean, it's easy to kink shame when it's not your kink, and that ain't my kink, so it's easy to shame that. It's really just a pathetic thing. And I didn't know what to make of it, because if you watch his stand-up, it's a very self-deprecating kind of comedy, and I've heard the rumors a couple months ago leading up to this, and I'm like, well, if it's true, that just figures, because that's just an accurate reflection of his on-stage persona. And like, he's very truthful on stage, and that's why I like his comedy. But he wasn't completely open about himself, and of course we all have things that we're ashamed of, and you can't, we're all human and all that junk. But I'm glad I waited to record this, because he finally broke his legendary 24-hour silence after distributors planned to not release his movie. They let go of his movie, I Love You Daddy, the black and white indie comedy that no one outside the Cine East elite would ever want to watch. I mean, I'd probably get around to watching it sooner or later, but it wasn't a film for a mass audience. It wasn't going to make any money, really, anyway. It was just, Louis C.K. being Woody Allen. If you watch the trailer, it looks just like a Woody Allen movie. But, he spoke out today, and I'm going to see if I can find his statement here. Give me a second. I'm going to read it and see, how he owned up to the accusations, How did he own up to the accusations? I mean, let's give it a shot. Let's give this guy a chance to hear. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. We got to do it. And it's like, and at least it seems to be he's being more upfront about it than Kevin Spacey was. It's like, yeah, I may or may not have done it, and by the way, guys, I'm gay. Yeah, this wasn't anything like that. I think Louis is lucky in this case, because the victims in question aren't underage. Yep. And okay. All right. I'm gonna clear my throat here. I found a statement, and so here we go. All right. The statement is unedited. I'm gonna do my best Louis C.K. impersonation here. I want to address the stories told to the New York Times by 5 women named Abby, Rebecca, Dana, Julia, and who felt able to name themselves and one who did not. These stories are true. At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true, but what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your dick isn't a question, it's a predicament for them. The power I had over these women is that they admired me, and I wielded that power irresponsibly. I have been remorseful for my actions, and I've tried to learn from them and run from them, and now I'm aware of the extent of the impact of my actions. I learned yesterday the extent to which I left these women who admired me feeling badly about themselves and cautious around other men who would never have put them in that position. I also took advantage of the fact that I was widely admired in their community, which disabled them from sharing their story and brought hardship to them when they tried because people who look up to me didn't want to hear it. I didn't think I was doing any of that because my position allowed me not to think about it. There's nothing about this that I forgive myself for, and I have to reconcile it with who I am, which is nothing compared to the task I left him with. You guys hearing that? You guys hearing that? I'm in the middle of a recording, Lacey. Yeah, I'm busy. What are you doing? Oh, we got a guest star here, guys. A little Lacey Jane Murphy. What are you doing? Alright, I'm gonna finish this off here, this statement. This is Louis C.K. continuing his very articulate and arguably long-winded apology letter. Alright, I'm gonna pick up where I'm gonna go back a little bit. There is nothing about this that I forgive myself for, and I have to reconcile it with who I am, which is nothing compared to the task I left them with. I'm busy, Lacey. Alright, I'm not gonna finish reading this because he said he was sorry, and you can spin that any way you want. You can say that, you know, he's just doing damage control. He's just doing damage control. Oh, buddy, I knew you were gonna do this to me. I knew you were gonna do this to me. Oh, boy. Yeah. Personal life, interfering with professional life. Well, this is professional. It's not. It's the second episode. It's not even close to professional. Yes, I could do any amateur shit that I want, and it'll be fine because it's just the beginning. I got no studio. I'm recording this on my phone. So there's that in the bedroom. Because it's the most insulated room in the house, I think. Yeah. What are you doing? Looks like you need a new butt. You're wet? Okay, no. Don't take that off. Alright. Alright, we're gonna take a pause here. I got daddy work to do. I'll be back after this diaper change. Alright. Oh, buddy. I don't know if I should put some intermission music on here. Should I put any... Hey, Lacey, I'm gonna... Creative advice. Lacey. Creative advice. Should I put intermission music on? I'm gonna put some intermission music on. And, before I start it, I'm gonna do the fair use practice and say this is like a very good song and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Can't find a good one. Fine, I'll just use this one. There we go.
Show me that smile. Show me that smile.
Show me that smile. Right hand. Yeah. Be right back, folks. We got each other. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of that. Alright, note to self. Check the baby's diaper before you start recording. See, you gotta work out these kinks with each episode, you know? You don't know what kind of obstacles you're gonna be running into. Alright. So, I don't have really the most informed opinion on the Louis C.K. thing. But I will say that if there's anyone in this whole wave of scandals that can pick up their career from where they left off, it's probably him. You know, I'm not defending what he did, but there's no way to defend what he did because it was gross. When I heard that, I'm like, come on, man. You're better than that. Who are you? You remember that movie, Little Children? Are you the pedophile from Little Children? You remember that movie? If you've never seen a movie, there's a character in that movie, Little Children, played by Jackie Earle Haley, yeah, he played Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And I see recording, yeah, and he played a pedophile in this movie, Little Children, and he tries to live a normal life. He goes out on a date with this awkward girl, and at the end of the date, he just whips it out and starts yanking it in front of her. And she's just watching it, and she's like, oh my god, there's no good guys left, oh no, I'm stuck with a guy like you. And they never went out again after that, I guess, I don't know. It's been about 10 years since I've seen that movie. But yeah, that kind of behavior is that's what it reminds me of. I mean, I've just never had the audacity to be all like, hey, can I just, take it out and, yeah, come on, let's do it. It's so forward. And I don't even think if I was ever in a position of power, which I've never been, so I can't say that a position of power is like, okay, I'm going to use my power just to yank it in front of girls. I'm like, no, can't do it. It's like you come on to me, not the other way around, and I'll see what I can do with that when you send that stuff my way. Come on, yeah. But I'm still a fan. I still think he's funny. I still think his comedy is incredibly truthful. But I don't know if there's going to be more stuff that comes out, because all he did was confirmed what he was accused of. Like, if there was more, he probably should have said there'd been more if he was being really honest about it. Because, you're give it a few days and you'll probably hear more. That's how it worked with Kevin Spacey. And, oh yeah, I gotta update the Kevin Spacey thing. I went off on a rant about Kevin Spacey in the first episode here, the previous episode, and just because the same accusation kept coming out involving different kids. And I'm like, okay, well, because when I first heard the Kevin Spacey thing, I was kind of, because I was a fan, I was like in denial. I was kind of on I wanted to side with him. It was like, I wasn't exactly on his side, but I wanted to side with him. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. And now that benefit is long gone, I'm just like, oh no. And it's gotten to such a point where this movie he was in that was coming out, directed by Ridley Scott, called All the Money in the World, and he was playing like a real-life billionaire who wouldn't pay his grandkids ransom. And like they put Kevin Spacey in 10 tons of makeup to play this character, because the character's like 20, 30 years older than he is. Lacey, come on. I'm in the middle of a show. Come on. Are you pooping again? Why are you taking out? No, do not. Do not do that. Don't do it. Just don't jump on the bed. Oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. Long story short, Ridley Scott replaced Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer. And Christopher Plummer was not going to need any makeup to play this guy. And it was Ridley Scott's first choice, allegedly. So I'm like, okay, well, you got the actor you wanted. not a bankable star like Kevin Spacey, or bankable as of 2 weeks ago. But and which is fine, you know. The movie comes out in a month, and the guy's role is like 8 to 10 days on set, so they'll be able to shoehorn that shit in. So it'll be an alright movie. I didn't have very high hopes for it anyway. I'm excited about Disaster Artist. That's the movie I'm like, oh man, that movie's gonna be great, because I love The Room, and it looks like it's just gonna be amazing. But I'll talk about that in future episodes when it comes closer to time for that to come out. So yeah, Christopher Plummer replaced Kevin Spacey in All the Money in the World, which is a movie I'm just like, cool, Ridley Scott, whatever, you know. But I was like thinking, you know, the last movie of Kevin Spacey's that I watched with any semblance of innocence as a viewer was Baby Driver. And I'm so glad I saw that movie before these allegations came out, because it just wouldn't have been the same. I wouldn't have enjoyed it the same way, maybe. It's a possibility. And it's a really good movie. I do not like Kevin Spacey's character in it. I don't think he was a fully formed character, and it just seemed like he was phoning his performance in. And I mean, that's my critique on that. He was the weak link in that movie. And I thought, you know, after the Christopher Plummer news came out, and the internet thought, like, oh, why don't we just replace Christopher Plummer in all of Kevin Spacey's roles? Like, no, you can't do that. You can't replace Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer. You need someone, an actor in the same range, who was popular around the same time. And I have a few Kevin Spacey movies that are fixtures in my head, like, you know, Seven, American Beauty, Usual Suspects. And I thought to myself, like, who else could have played those roles just as well, if not better? And the answer was clear as day: Tom Hanks. It started with Baby Driver. It's like, in my mind, I just replaced Kevin Spacey's performance with a performance by Tom Hanks, and I have a vivid enough imagination to do it. And I'm like, wow, Baby Driver would have been amazing with Tom Hanks in Kevin Spacey's role. And his character would have been more, you would have believed the arc his character had if Tom Hanks was playing him. So they should have got Tom Hanks to play Kevin Spacey's role, Baby Driver. And I went even further. It's like, I imagine American Beauty. Man, Tom Hanks would have been amazing as Lester Burnham in American Beauty. And Usual Suspects, to give him another Oscar for, you know, playing Verbal Kint, a.k.a. Kaiser Soze. I mean, I would have loved to see Tom Hanks in those roles. And then, of course, Seven. It's like, hey, you can't replace Kevin Spacey in Seven. What if you replace him with Tom Hanks? Like, oh my God, that's creepy. Tom Hanks can do anything. Oh my God. Like, just take any of Kevin Spacey's lines in Seven and just, you know, in the back of the car while they're going to the desert, and any lines in that scene, just replace them with Tom Hanks with his bald head and just saying these horrible things. And it's just like, oh man, this guy's on another level. This guy's on another level. But yeah, that's how I've been coping with the situation. I'm just replacing Kevin Spacey with Tom Hanks, because throughout this whole thing, Tom Hanks has been kind of a voice of reason. I don't know if there's interviews floating, like little snippets on YouTube of interviews with Tom Hanks talking about the scandals in Hollywood, mainly the Harvey Weinstein one, and he's very, you know, he's very real about it. He's very objective about it. He doesn't really judge these guys for what they did, but he admits that it was wrong and there needs to be a change in Hollywood. So he's a really good diplomat as an actor. So let's hope, fingers crossed, nothing comes out about Tom Hanks. I'm fairly confident we're not going to hear anything negative about Tom Hanks throughout this whole thing. And hopefully not Spielberg either, or Scorsese. And like, because, you know, you don't want your heroes to be ruined, you know? Like my hero is, like, you know, if I make a list, at the top of the list would be Quentin Tarantino. He's pretty much the reason why I wanted to be, like, because of the work he did, that was why I wanted to be a screenwriter, filmmaker, whatever. And you know, if I was in his shoes, and if he knew this shit was gonna go down, I don't know, Quentin, maybe you should have gone to a different studio. It's not like no studio would have you, right? But, you know, I guess Miramax, Weinstein, they gave him all the perks in the world. They hushed him up really good. He never left. He was going to make all his movies for that, but he can't make a movie for the Weinstein Company now, so, like, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? That's because he's workshopping a movie that's loosely based or actually based on the Manson murders, but it's going to be loosely based. It's going to exist in the Tarantino universe. It's not going to be inaccurate. I doubt it's going to be an accurate retelling of the Manson family murders. He's gonna have his own special Tarantino cinematic twist where he references a bunch of movies that came out in the era. Probably mostly Roman Polanski movies, if I'm willing to bet. And speaking of Hollywood degenerates, yeah, that's my piece on the matter. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's scary. But this is my attempt to re-enter it. This is my first step. This is me dipping my toes in the pool and saying, is it warm enough for me to get in? I'll get in. Okay. And so, yeah, I was scared. I don't know. I guess I was scared to do this episode today. I don't know if it doesn't matter if it's any good or not. I just didn't know if I was gonna be able to get the energy out. You know, is it gonna get stuck? Am I gonna get lost in my own banter? But it doesn't seem to be. It kind of is, but not as bad as it could be, where I just freeze up and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's just I'm taking the culture and I'm filtering it through my mind, and maybe my mind's unique enough to present it in a more unique perspective. I don't know. Yeah. But, you know, it's the weekend. It's Friday, guys. You gotta prepare yourself for the next week, because this is my big... And I think this is, like, one of my big issues here. It's like, you can put your life on pause, but you can't put time on pause. It's like, you can stop doing whatever you're doing, but the world's just gonna keep going. With or without you, it's gonna keep going. And that's the bitch of the bunch right there. That's the kicker. It's like, if it's just gonna keep going, if I stop, then what's the point of me doing anything? Well, you can't think like that, guys. You can't. You just gotta forget about the rest of the world and just do your own thing. Create your own world that can intertwine with the worlds of others, so it becomes like this big hive mind cultural unit. It's like we're a bunch of ants just fulfilling one purpose, but we're not exactly sure what that purpose is. It's like the grand scheme, the bigger picture, all that jazz. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to see if I could stretch this bad boy out to an hour, but with the baby running around and me feeling like I'm getting all this stuff off my chest, it's like, you know, I think we can cool it with a half hour today. And well, maybe let's see what Lacey has to say about everything that's going on in the news. Hey, Lacey, what's going on? What do you think about what's going on with Louis C.K., huh? You think you're going to be able to forgive him? Huh? You think Louis is going to be accepted by his fans again? You think he's going to be okay?
Yes.
Oh, she thinks so. She thinks so. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. You know, it's like the children, you know. He's got 2 daughters. He's got to look out for them. And he has to protect them from guys like him. Oh. And with me, it's like, oh, I got a daughter now, and I got to protect her from guys like everyone else. Oh, I guess I just have a really high opinion of myself. Oh. I got a temper, though. I got to work on that. It's been a bad day because I've just been pissed. I've just been about nothing in particular. I just didn't feel like the person that I wanted to be when I woke up, and I just wanted to get away from that person. Now it's gone. I'm ready for the weekend. Yep. I'm gonna pop this bad boy up online, see if anyone listens to it. I got some good feedback on the last episode, and my first YouTube subscriber, so I'm moving up in the world. Moving up. Yeah, before I go, I just want to thank Mike Ingley, old friend of mine, for sharing, and thank my wife for sharing as well and supporting me through this endeavor. So, thank you for all that. New fans. Hope I get a couple more every time. Hopefully I get so many that I don't have to thank everyone individually. But until that day, I will thank every fan I get individually. So, thank you, Talia. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Lindsay. And I'm not sure if anyone else has listened to it. But if anyone else has listened to it and liked it, thank you as well. So, I think I'm going to close up shop here. I'm not going to stretch this out for an hour. I think I've taken up enough time. And I think I said everything I wanted to say. I was sitting on material. And I'm like, now it's gone. And I'm like, I don't have any material left. I was going to lay in a little bit more. I was going to talk more about Urkel today. I was going to talk more about Urkel because if you ever watched Family Matters, I don't know, he stole the show. Like, he literally stole the show, like, criminally. It's like, the show wasn't even about him. He was a recurring character in the first season. But then you start the second season, it's like, it's Urkel Central. And he's a accidental terrorist. He's burning down restaurants. And it's like... And I thought to myself, I wonder if Kevin Spacey watched that show when it was on and what he thought about Urkel. Did he think he was cute? I don't know. Did Spacey think Urkel was cute? I don't know. Maybe he's not his type. I'm not saying that's a racial thing. But I don't know if Urkel would be his type. Maybe too awkward. Maybe he felt the same way about him as Laura did. Just an annoying little dude. But that's pretty much it, guys. You know, that's my piece on Urkel there. And like, Urkel stole the show, and I will say that the show was funnier when he started doing it, but it wasn't as, you know, like, let's make it more about the families and what matters to them. You know, their family matters, not the annoying neighbor who destroys shit matters. Yeah. It's like, oh, he destroyed shit that affects the family. I guess that is a matter. That the show just became about this nerd destroying everything in his family's life, yet they still keep him around. They can't really get rid of him, but like, it's all an accident. He doesn't mean to do any of the horrible stuff that he does. He's just an accidental terrorist. That's what Urkel is, an accidental terrorist. Does that make Kevin Spacey an accidental pedophile? Not exactly. Does it make Louis C.K. an accidental pervert? No. It doesn't make anything. It just makes the show entertaining. So let's not think too deep into these things. You know, it's just a TV show. Gotta keep things, you know, on even keel here. But, you know, that's my piece on the matter. I think I'm good. I think I'm really good. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're watching this before the weekend, I hope you're having a great weekend if you're listening to this on the weekend. And I hope your weekend was really good if you're watching this after the weekend. Or listening to this, whatever. Okay. Alright, that's that, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Yeah. Alright, guys. Exit Q. Police Squad theme. For the Naked Gun. Remember that? Hey, remember, guys? Remember the Naked Gun? Remember? Yeah. Alright.